This episode of DDO Players News is brought to you by the Easy Roller Dice Company. Check out EasyRollerDice.com for all of your dice needs. Metal dice, regular dice, specialty dice, any dice in between. You can find them at Easy Roller Dice. Don't forget about their full line of dice bags and roller dice trays as well. EasyRollerDice.com for all of your game-playing dice needs. Once again, thank you to Easy Roller Dice for sponsoring this episode of DDO Players News.
Good day, everyone. This is Polymules, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Everything's going fine here. How are things going in Barovia?
Rainy.
Rainy?
I like it that way, though. It's fine.
Okay.
Nothing beats a little
spotty
walk in the
there?
rain. Yeah, a little bit, you know.
And now that we have it raining a little bit, I guess it's a good idea for us to look into some news to take our minds away from the rain, where we'll begin with a special announcement from Standing Stone Games, where this may be a little surprise that they announced for May, or is this a new surprise? I don't know.
Well, the first thing they announced is Standing Stone Games will be extending the open questing of all of our adventures and stories through May 31st, 2020. So we get another month to run everything for free. If you are not a VIP player, you can run anything. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. They launched this initiative pretty much because everybody is stuck at home at this point. So they thought, hey, this is a good time to do this. Well, most people are still stuck at home. So they're going to extend it through May 31st. So that's kind of cool. But that is not all. To say thank you to the VIP supporters, they will be distributing the following gifts to anyone with an active VIP subscription who logs into the game world between May 1st and May 31st. For DDO, you're going to get extra 10 slots of shared bank storage. Yay for shared bank storage. This is awesome. I'm happy about this. And also a Sybaris Spirit Cake, which is bound to character, delivered to every character a player logs in between May 1st and May 31st. So now is the time to log in all those players and get those cakes.
All those alts.
That's right. Log them in.
Or at least
get the cakes.
At least the ones you intend to play more.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Spirit Cakes, even if you're playing the character, Spirit Cake will come in handy. But then they are doing something over for Lotro. We don't talk about Lotro on this podcast because we have a Lotro podcast that talks about Lotro like we talk about DDO. But I'll mention it here. You're going to get a selection box of medium carry-alls. You can choose from one of the following: crafting, task, essence, instrument, or housing decoration. And you're also going to get a greater morale potion. Same thing like the Sybaris Cake, bound to every character that logs in between May 1st and May 31st. They end the little note by saying, please continue to stay safe, and thank you.
All right, thank you for that little gift there. I guess that they decided on a little thing for the VIPs because one of the perks of VIP was having all those adventures and stories for free. And
which I was going to look on the forums. I'm sure somewhere on the forums, somewhere there's some VIPs that are bitching about everybody getting the stuff they're paying for. You know it has to happen.
Yes, I know that's sort of one of the...
Somewhere there's a thread.
Almost assuredly.
Unfortunately, but yes.
As probably turns into very quickly into enough of a flame war that said thread gets clipped quickly for violation of community rules.
I'm sure. I'll have to dig into the forums and see if I can find some threads, but I know they're out there somewhere.
Yes. So that's a nice little gift there. So let's then head out into a little thing called Update 46, The Lost Gatekeepers. Now, where did they go?
They're lost. We don't know, Pine Leaf.
We don't. Well, no, we're supposed to find them. Yes.
Yeah, see, that's the whole point. Come on. Yes, update 46 is upon us. Update 46 brings a new adventure pack into the game. The Gatekeepers have established a new grove outside of Stormreach, and some of the recently recruited initiates have gone missing. Throughout the 5 quests, clues will be found and followed to help rescue these would-be guardians of Eberron. The Lost Gatekeepers quest pack is a level 3 on Heroic and 32 on Legendary. The NPC for this quest can be found in the Gatekeepers Grove. It is located in the harbor in Eberron. Lost Gatekeepers is free to VIPs and will eventually be available in the DDO store. But remember, currently, all adventure packs and expansion content is available to all players to play for free, so everybody can play this for free through May 31st.
Yes, because that has just been extended, as we explained earlier. And this is in that nice little area that's next to the Cerulean Hills that we now have.
And the quest, spoiler alert, the quests take place in the Cerulean Hills.
Yes, the quests take place in the Cerulean Hills. But if you need to go to anything else involving the Gatekeepers, this will be the place to go. Because if you want to access the Temple of Elemental Evil, you will find the entrances to there. It is now in the Gatekeepers Grove rather than in the Hall of Heroes as it was before.
That's right. I noticed the Temple was there, White Plume was there, and Slave Lords were there.
And Slave Lords were there, those.
So don't go to the Hall of Heroes to find those quests. They're in the Gatekeepers Grove now.
Yep.
Also with Update 46, besides the new 5 quest of the Lost Gatekeepers, we do have some other little fixes and such. Druids, the Ghost Pack, will no longer make players in wolf form untargetable to other players. That comes in handy if you want to get healed. It's kind of hard to heal somebody when they're untargetable.
Well, that means at least druids have some healing skills. So
well, that's true. I guess, yeah, they can heal themselves. That's true. Speaking of healing yourself, paladins no longer gain the benefits of a T4 Vigor of Life without training the enhancement first. Wah, wah. Hope all you paladins enjoyed that one while it lasted. Paladin also, the Righteous Command now requires level 2 Paladin spell components. Sanctified Veil works with the described level prerequisites. And let's see, they fixed some typos in various places. Sinister Chill now applies more reliably on poison spells. Two-handed swords and club mobile attack animations have been updated cosmetically to be more smooth and impactful. No changes to the speed/timing or hitbox have been made. They corrected some typos in the Vistani Knife Fighter enhancement tree. Okay. The Sandstorm glasses no longer drop with wrist mythic boost, and now properly drop with goggle mythic boost. Well, that's handy since they're goggles and not wrist items, so that's a good thing. You get the goggle mythic boost instead of the wrist boost. Oops. Bracers of the Demon's Consort no longer drop with the goggles mythic boost. They now properly have wrist mythic boost.
What a coincidence.
Exactly. Oh, that's kind of funny, actually. Sentient XP stones are now able to be looted from chests more reliably and are less likely to get stuck in your inventory. That's always a good thing. Fix some typos, improve against poison, the item effect. Let's see. Some items from the Keep of the Borderlands have more appropriate material types. Okay. I'm curious on what that is. Sure. This one is of note to a lot of us. I know I'm happy about this one. Ice Flensers no longer spam Ice Storm as often when not engaged in melee. And their Ice Spike slippery effects has a smaller radius and better client performance. Ice Spikes now also scale their damage with monster level. That part's kind of scary, but the first part's kind of good.
Well, it all depends on whether they were in the past underscaled at higher levels or overscaled at lower levels.
Little of both.
Okay.
I kind of noticed, so yeah. Mummy Despair now has a functional DC game-wide and applies to all nearby creatures much more consistently. Oh, yay. Yay for the Mummy Despair.
Okay.
As we kind of alluded to earlier, the majority of the Gatekeeper NPCs have moved to the Gatekeeper's Grove. So they include the following: the Gatekeeper Favorite NPC, the Schism Shard Collector, and the Quest Givers for Temple of Elemental Evil, Tavern Brawl, Slavers, and White Plume Mountain.
I noticed how they have a typo in the notes because they say Temple of Elemental Evil Part 1 twice.
Oh, yes, they do.
I presume that second one was supposed to be Part 2.
One would assume yes. Unless they just really want you to go to Part 1. Like a lot.
Maybe they have as much trouble fighting the bosses I do.
It might be. The Slayer, Explorer, and Rare Quest for the Cerulean Hills now have their CRs set to the correct value for the landscape, which is 3. All epic XP rewards for Catacombs Quest have been increased. Did you want to say something about the Cerulean Hills?
Yeah, it might be that they also might have tweaked them upward because I think the first time I went to the Cerulean Hills with my alchemist, I don't think a single one survived. They were all being one shot. So with the level 3 character, now it looks like that they're not as easily being one shotted. So, so it could be that they also actually made them a little closer to level 3 in their
that could be.
Yeah, because they did say their CR is set to the correct value. So that's why I have a feeling then that they must have been CR1 previously, and that's why they're so easily being killed.
And let's see. As I said, the Catacombs Epic Quest, the XP has been increased. Same thing for Mystery of Dalera's Tomb and Free Dalera. The XP has also been increased for the Epic version. The Orchard of the Macabre has had errors leading to client performance resolved. Yay, the Orchard is fixed once again. Guess I'll have to go to I haven't been out to the Orchard for a long time, actually. I love that area. It's one of my favorite areas in DDO, actually. They also fixed a logic issue in Ravensbane that may have prevented Baba Lasaga's hut from opening correctly in some cases.
Oh, yeah.
And this comes to the section of the release notes that I'm thinking, oh my god, they fixed something on Korthos.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed a few things here.
Why did they fix Korthos? But okay.
Well, maybe they thought it needed fixing.
For you? Because you're the only one that does Korthos. We all know that.
No. I've seen other people in Korthos.
Okay.
I haven't done Korthos. Have I done Korthos any this year at all? Because I've been going to the Borderlands.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You're mixing it up this year. That's right.
Yeah, we've got a different area now.
Mm-hmm. So, if you do find yourself in Korthos, they fixed an issue that sometimes caused a player to not be informed that they should enter the tavern in Korthos after helping Baldur and Linus. Korthos sacrifices. The underwater section has been adjusted to provide a function for the gate, levers, and doors that previously did nothing.
Now, I am going to have to go and do that quest now because I remember the number of times I've gone in there trying to figure out what do all these things do and just not thinking. I just couldn't figure it out, and I found out there was no purpose.
They were a MacGuffin, Pineleaf.
They were a MacGuffin.
They MacGuffined you. In the Redemption quest, a waypoint to enter the final battle of the Crest Redemption has been added for when the barriers would normally prevent entry. Okay. So there you go. Korthos has been fixed. That is kind of funny about the underwater levels and stuff, though. That is because I will admit, like the first time I ran through Korthos, I probably spent way too much time trying to figure out, did that do anything? I don't think I did anything. Maybe it did somewhere else. So I got out of the water and I looked around. And I'm like, nope, everything's still the same. What the heck? So yeah, that is kind of funny, actually. Also, over in Wayloon, Thrill of the Hunt, some cosmetic changes have been reverted. Those were made in error. The Searing Heights wilderness area has received some landscape updates. I'll have to step out in the Searing Heights and see what the landscape updates have been. I haven't been out there for quite a while, speaking of the Searing Heights area. After a years-long identity crisis, the quest giver for bringing the light has remembered his name is in fact Brother Augustus. So I never paid attention to him. Apparently his name changed, and I didn't know after all this time.
Yeah, I didn't remember there being any.
I guess I never paid attention to what his name was to begin with, but okay. And some more typo fixes have been done. There has been some UI little tweaks. The inventory details drop-down tab now properly displays the critical multiplier of your equipped weapons. Clicking on the first core of Bastani Knife Fighter, if you do not own it, now opens the DDO store for the listing for Bastani Knife Fighter.
Oh, that's very important.
well, to some people it is finally. SSG. Several changes to issues believed to be contributing to the client and server performance issues have been made.
Yay!
And you know, I did notice when you and I played, and then when I was playing with Saba as well, I hate to say lag because it was more than just lag, but a majority of it was lag. Most of the issues I was having have been corrected. The game did run smoother for me. I still had a couple little hiccups here and there, but overall, for me personally, it was a lot better. Now, your miles may vary on that.
Yeah. Your mileage may vary.
Right.
Essentially is, if it were related to the physics engine that was causing it, then things are nice. If it's related to your system being a potato, it probably didn't help at all. If it's related to the people next door watching too much Netflix that's causing a network bottleneck right in your neighborhood, then forget it.
Yeah, there ain't no help in that. But yeah, like I said, personally for me, everything did run better. So we'll see what happens next time I play. But there you go. The Death Watches You cosmetic should now properly display on all races. The half-orc and halfling wish for memories now properly describes themselves as opposed to each other. Okay. They fixed a problem with many secret doors that made them too easy to spot, to the point of your spot skill not mattering at all. The search DCs are not affected. These doors' spot DCs should now scale with the level and difficulty of the dungeon as intended, and their spot DC values will be 5 below the search DCs. This bug only affected doors, not traps or control panels.
Yeah, it did make it annoying on how often I would get a message saying, you notice a draft somewhere. You notice a nearby draft. You notice a nearby draft. I don't know. I can't. I don't see anything in the area.
Right, exactly. There's nothing here. You're crazy. An otherworldly hut has appeared in the Stormreach Harbor. What is this about?
Yeah, I know what that's about, but
oh, finally past spoilers. So what is it about?
It let's just say it relates to the Gatekeepers quest line.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll have to finish the Gatekeepers quest line and then I can find that out.
Yes. How about this week, instead of switching games, we finish off the Gatekeepers?
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
All right, that's fine. Sounds good. Apparently, we're playing DDO this week. Then there is now a moving platform elevator from the docks in Stormreach Harbor up to the cliffside.
I didn't notice. I didn't look for it, I guess. So I didn't notice that there was one.
I didn't notice that either. I guess I'm going to have to go see that.
Yes, I'm so used to moving platform elevators being in Canis.
Right. Like, okay. I mean, you could just run up the stairs and run over, but okay, you can take the elevator now. So there you go. There is our release notes for update 46, The Lost Gatekeepers.
And well, now we'll see if we can actually find them. Now let's head into the DDO Chronicle, where it looks like the Lost Gatekeepers are gathering for a reunion because they don't look too lost.
I was about to say, hey, you know what? I found them right there. Okay, I'm done. I win. I win DDO right there.
You win Dungeons and Dragons Online.
There's the Lost Gatekeepers. You're welcome, folks. There they are. That's right. An apropos header to our Chronicle this week, I suppose. Also in the Chronicle, Morningstar is hosting a party this weekend to explain how to craft and level up fast. So click over for the details. My thinking is when they said this weekend, that was last weekend because this Chronicle came out last Friday.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's available on demand video somewhere. I'll have to click and look and see. Massively OP's stream team recently delved into the Fjarlin Carnival. Click over and watch them run the carnival. In our fan site news section, DDO Kasplat, I still love that name, streams every Wednesday on Twitch. Click over to watch all the DDO Kasplat shenanigans. Mickey is writing about the optional in Total Chaos. Click over to read that. Don't forget DDO Stream. That is the place on Twitch to find all of the weekly DDO streamers. DDO PL, Making a Tiefling. D&D Night goes on a 3-hour tour. And yes, it is what you think. Sort of.
So the weather got rough?
Maybe.
Okay.
Spoilers, finally. And Brighter Days Ahead Tonight redecorates.
Okay.
Also on Twitch, Stream Tom sings maybe. Voodoo Spice premieres Reaper Life number 4, and Samus Garobo is having a TR day. Lots of people streaming over on YouTube as well. Kalith and the Longhouse, DWP Punisher, and Ice Damon. Also streaming some DDO over on YouTube. We have a... And you know what? Just to point out, we didn't make the Chronicle this week.
What?
I think I just noticed that. That's like the first week, I think, in a long time we haven't made the Chronicle. What's funny is we made it last week, and last week wasn't even a new... the week before, I should say. Not last week, but you know what I mean. The last Chronicle before this.
Yeah.
We made it then, and we didn't even have a show that week. Because that was the week we took off.
Okay.
And we made the Chronicle then. And we had a new show, and we didn't make the Chronicle. So, things that make you go, other things that make you go, is the Chronicle comment. What is the best way not to get lost?
What is the best way not to get lost? Avoid questing with Pine Leaf?
That was going to be my answer, actually. Or a variant of that, so yes.
Well, all right. Well, I suppose that if you've got all those extra... Actually, how long do those pointing hands last?
The Bigby hands, I don't know, they last quite a while.
Okay, so I guess you could drop down a couple of those.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I would probably always forget about it.
I will have to remember Wednesday to throw some of those down because I think I have some of them in my bank I can grab out.
Oh, that's Wednesday. Yes, okay.
And then we have our screenshot of the week to wrap up our Chronicle. This is Questelin and Joseph, the mini scarecrow, watch the airships sail by in the 460th DDO screenshot of the week. And that is from Questelin for sending in that screenshot. That's cool screen. That's just, Sharn is cool looking with the floating cities. So.
And that concludes our Chronicle this week. So what is on sale?
Well, you can store more loot. 30% off this week with character banks, shared banks, deposit boxes, and plat storage. Inventory space and bags through April the 30th, all at 30% off. So that is a good sale. All of those things, always good to have more of when you're a hoarder like me. So go buy some of that stuff because it's good to get it 30% off. Weekly coupon code this week. It's going to get you a restoration oil. Yay. With the coupon code RESTOR item, RESTOREITEM, and that also is through April the 30th. Kind of a weak coupon code this week, but I guess they can't all be winners, right?
Yeah, they can't all be winners. Then let's head into what's coming in from the dungeon. Where Goodman Games has announced the original Adventures Reincarnated number 6, a classic that we have had here in Dungeons & Dragons Online, The Temple of Elemental Evil.
That's right. They are doing T1 to 4, the Temple of Elemental Evil. This is a really weird choice for me, but okay. Sure. I mean, the temple is fun. I mean, I like the module. My only question is why the temple when it's there's already a 5th ed conversion of it?
Was there a 5th ed? Oh, that's right. Did they have a 5th ed edition?
Yeah, it was in Tales of the Yawning Portal.
Oh, that's right. They did have.
So it's going to be interesting to see what Goodman does to change it and what they do different, I guess. So I don't know. It's exciting, I guess. I don't know. I'm not jumping up and down. Like some of the other, like Castle Amber. I was excited for Castle Amber because that was one of my favorite modules back in the day. But I mean, I like Temple of Elemental Evil, don't get me wrong, but it's already been done in 5th ed, so I just don't understand this. The big thing about this one is, unlike the previous 5 volumes that came before it in the, I like how they call it the OR line, the sheer size and scope of this module requires something new. OR number 6, the Temple of Elemental Evil, will be released in a 2-volume hardcore slipcase edition. The 2 volumes.
Hardcover?
Yeah, hardcover. The 2 volumes will also contain expert commentary about the original modules and their histories. You can look for original Adventures Reincarnated number 6, The Temple of Elemental Evil, to arrive late 2020 or early 2021. And my guess is this one ain't going to be $50 like the other ones. You're going to pay $100 for this one because you're getting $2 instead of 1.
Oh, is the expert commentary going to be by Will Wheaton?
Maybe.
This is a dwarven translation of an elvish word, so it is pronounced Sawajin.
That would be kind of funny if it was. But yeah, so they didn't give an MSRP of it, but I guarantee it's not going to be 50 because they're doing 2 books, so it's got to be 100, right?
Well, it depends because it depends on the size of the 2 books.
Well, that's true, I guess.
Or economy of scale, so they might get it down to 80.
And then, like all the other original Adventures Reincarnated, it's going to contain both the original material, scanned and cleaned up, to present it in its originally appeared edition, and then they're going to have their 5e translation in the second half of the book.
Or in the second volume in this case.
Maybe. Yeah, I would think. Yeah, because the first book is probably going to be T1 Hamlet, I would think, and then the second book will be The Temple. T2 to 4, probably, maybe? I don't know.
I have a feeling because Hamlet is such a relatively small module compared to the temple itself.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they split that up into 2 books.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking of having one for the original and one for the upgraded version.
Maybe.
Well, we will find that out in sometime in December or January of next year, assuming that everything's still operating then.
Yeah, I'm gonna say maybe again. I don't trust any street dates I see at all right now. None of
Well,
them.
yes. Don't trust street dates right now.
Believe nothing right now.
Believe in nothing. Yes. Oh boy. Yeah, I know there's a video released this last weekend by Century 21 Films, who currently have the rights to Supermarionation. So it's done by the same. So essentially, the group it was founded by the people who did Thunderbirds.
Okay, all right.
So
I wondered why that name sounded familiar, but that's why. Okay.
yes, so they were doing this, and they put out a new short film there as the first episodes. Apparently, they had been planning on this, but they couldn't do things quite the way they were originally planning because the studio they used was a studio apartment because so all the filming had to be done with two people, probably the person running and his wife together because they couldn't get anybody else together because of the lockdown to this. Now they did have to order the model, and there says, and it was nice and gently delivered by our friendly postal service. Of course, showing the postal service throwing it in.
Nice.
I don't, so that was probably just a pure joke on that matter. So you get the idea there, and when their opening joke on this was, yes, this is currently the highest budgeted film. Is the highest budgeted television series currently in production, and that's because all the real television productions are shut down right now. Of course.
Nice.
Yes, but anyway, yeah, it was done on a shoestring budget because they filmed it in their apartment. But anyway, that was on the Century 21 YouTube channel, which I was. So I saw that I got a message from the folks who did the Thunderbirds Kickstarter a few years back. So now that we've gone on that little tangent, let's head on to what's on the book page. Where humble book bundle Dungeons and Dragons Read the Realms by Wizards of the Coast. Read the Realms?
Read the Realms, Pine Leaf. It should be entitled Read All of the Stories of That Drow Everybody Loves to Hate. Because, the majority of these books are the Dritz books, is what the majority of these books are. I mean, there are some non-Dritz books in here, but... I mean, personally, I love the Dritz books, personally, so... But I know there's some people that are like, Dritz,
So that's why a lot of these are by R.A. Salvatore.
Yes, a majority of these are by Mr. Salvatore, actually. But there's some good books in here, especially just in the second tier. Well, actually, the first tier is pretty good, too. The $1 tier, you'll get the start of the Dritz trilogy, which is going to be Homeland, Exile, and Sojourn. So that will get you the three main Dritz books. So if you want to hear the beginnings of Dritz, there you go. Just $1 or more. And then you jump up to the $8 tier. You add in the Crystal Shard. Excellent, excellent book. That's in the Icewind Dale trilogy. There's a lot of Icewind Dales. There's the let's try that again. Legacy of the Drow. Is in there as well. That is a good series too. So there's some good stuff in here. So $15, you can get 26 different books. Of course, these are in DRM-free PDFs. Or actually, you can do multi-formats with this. You can get them in PDF or EPUB, and they're all DRM-free, which is kind of cool. So you can start out at $1 or jump all the way up to get the full bundle for $15. This is supporting Extra Life Charity is the charity that they are choosing to support with this. And then if you go through our link on the site, because we are a Humble Bundle partner, we have chosen to do the American Cancer Society. And I do want to thank the 3 people that have used our link to buy this bundle. We have raised $10 for the American Cancer Society, which is kind of awesome, actually.
Whee!
So thank you for the 3 people that used the link to raise some money for the Cancer Society. That's awesome. So yeah, check this out. The Read the Realms bundle is going to be available until May 13th. So you have some time to jump in to get your Dritz reading on.
That's assuming, of course, that I suspect that half the people have too much time on their hands, and the other half of the people have no time on their hands.
Well, that's very true. And I'm just trying to think. I don't think I own a lot of these digitally. I have like the hardcover versions of them, but I was just trying to think if I have like these on my Kindle or my iPad. Well, I guess not my Kindle, my Fire tablet, I should say, but my Fire tablet or my iPad. And I don't think I have either. I don't think I have any of these books digitally, so I might have to do this myself.
Then let's into our week in gaming. And what were you up to, Drag?
Well, I played some DDO. I know everybody's like, what? You played DDO? What? Yes, I played some DDO. I played with Saba. We did something else, but I'll be damned if I can remember what it was. So whatever it was epic and it was awesome and it was fun. It was in Evening Star. Don't ask me what the heck we did because I really can't remember. But we started doing Giant Hold after that. So we did insert the name of the quest here in Evening Star. And then we jumped over to Giant Hold, and we're doing the Giant Hold. We just did a couple of the walk-ups. We did Feast or Famine and Tribal Fire. That was on Epic Hard. Always fun. I like the Giant Hold, other than the Crucible, which is well known at this point. And yes, I told Saba there is no way in hell I'm going in the Crucible. So I said that will be the one that we skip with BIP. I love doing that. I do that every time I do Giant Hold. It's like, you know what? Skip. Crucible. Ugh. And then I played with you. I'll let you talk about that. And then that was really it for DDO. Did play some Dungeons & Dragons 5e. We did the Out of the Abyss campaign. We are now, spoiler alert, out of the Abyss. Ooh. We actually made it out. Last night was a 3-hour long battle.
3 hour. So instead of a 3-hour tour, you had a 3-hour battle.
We had a 3-hour long battle. And that was in continuation to probably 20 minutes of the battle that we had the last time we played. So it was a long battle, but we managed to get through that. We'll see what happens next. We're out of the Abyss, we think, but who knows if we're going to get dragged back in. We'll see. And then haven't played this yet, but I did want to talk about it. Coming up this Friday over on Evil Beaker's Twitch channel, we're going to start the Dungeon of the Mad Mage with the Water Deep Dwarves, which I am now, unfortunately, a dwarf. Bonnie B, I blame you. I'm looking at you. This is all your fault. So yes, that of course is a continuation of our Waterdeep Dwarves campaign, where I used to be a drow, but now I'm a dwarf because Bonnie Bew screwed up the wish. See that video if you want to see what happened. Just watch the last episode of Waterdeep Dwarves, and you can see Bonnie Bew screwing up the wish and turning me into a female dwarf. Grr. So that's coming up Friday, so I'm sure next week I'll talk more about the shenanigans that happened there. Then I did play some video games. This week, my video game playing was all retro games. Ooh. I played the Dungeons & Dragons arcade game Shadow over Mystara and the Dungeons & Dragons arcade game Tower of Doom. Those are great, just mindless beat 'em ups. If you haven't played them, they are so much fun. I spent so many quarters on them in the arcade, so it's so cool just sitting here in my chair, just clicking add quarter. Haha, it's not costing me a quarter, and look at how many quarters I have in there. Yeah, that was awesome. Then I played Dragon's Lair. Forgot how much I hate that video game. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play Dragon's Lair. I remember playing this in the arcade, and then after about 10 minutes, I'm like, this game sucks so bad. I hate this game. It's hard, very, very hard. If you have not ever played Dragon's Lair, go to YouTube and probably just search for gameplay of Dragon's Lair. I'm sure there's lots of videos of people playing it. The game is super freaking hard, like stupid hard. Amazing fun ish, I guess. I don't know. I finally quit. I finally gave up. I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. But it was fun nonetheless to revisit my childhood, as it were. And then speaking of that, Castlevania. I started playing Castlevania. Oh my god, I love Castlevania so much. So I plan on finishing Castlevania, and then I'm going to start Castlevania 2, and then I'll play 3, and then I'll play 4. I'm going to go through all the Castlevania games because I can do that now because I have a little retro game playing machine now, so it's awesome.
Ooh.
And that was really all I did. Didn't play any tabletop or anything. I was going to this weekend, but then video games got in the way, so no tabletop for me. But maybe this weekend I'll play some tabletop and we'll see what happens. So stay tuned for that. So how about you, Pine Leaf? What did you do?
Well, concerning tabletop, it was a week where I didn't get any in because
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find a solution for my office for
Okay.
for getting my gaming space back.
I was going to ask you because I looked in the show notes and I'm like, Pine Leaf forgot to put his like thousands of tabletop games he played in here this week.
So I had that, and I'm trying to get a good solution, either an alternate place in which to play tabletop or an alternate place to put the office. Either one will work. I just had to finish implementing one or the other, though busy enough that I had trouble with that. And of course, it didn't help that we had a release of both DDO and Lotro come out. Thus, for DDO, then first, what I ran with you, we went out to the Cerulean Hills to do looking for some Lost Gatekeepers. We ran the Home of Memory, Heart of the Problem, and Rosemary's Ballad. And then on my Alchemist, running alone, then I ran those 3 quests I just saw there. And when I ran the Heart of the Problem, I got a named item called String of Ears.
Okay.
Apparently, it helps with your listen skill.
Sure. I mean,
All right.
what would an item called String of Ears do?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. So that was a little interesting item to see in there. That they got a small little named item in there. Then I ran the Sacred Bounty and Housekeeping to round up that little series there. And what was interesting is that on 3 occasions during this particular series, I managed to get incapacitated and then was able to be healed back up and continue on with the fight. And I think this is the first. I think this is more times in running this quest line than all the other times combined on the number of times in which I've managed to get incapacitated and survive the instant.
Really?
Usually when I get a incapacitated message, 2 seconds later I get the death message. So I was really surprised there that I actually was able to get healed, not get the death message, which is of course useful at level 3, because at level 3 you're not going to be able to be rezzed.
Right.
So being able to be revived without having to be rezzed is good. So anyway, that's what we had in there. So I've finished up that little series there. That's my Alchemist. And now I'm trying to decide what to do with my Alchemist, because I did reach level 4 at the end, and I'm trying to think, all right, what's coming up next? Because I have the choice of, there are absolutely no Gatekeepers quests at level 4. I think the next Gatekeepers quest is Temple. So that's another few levels. So I don't know, is there going to be another update soon that's going to have a level 4 Gatekeepers quest? Or is or should I do the Sharn Syndicate? So I'm trying to decide which of those choices to take.
As far as I know, there's no other quests that they have announced. I'm just trying to think all what's been announced. The next thing is going to be the expansion that I know of.
Yeah, and what level
Unless
did we
I'm,
think that Feywild is going to be?
I assume it's probably going to be. Trying to think. Oh, Sharn stopped at.
Sharn stopped at, well, we had
like
15, 16, and then the 17 for the stuff after that, I think, for that.
Right. So my guess is Feywild's going to start at 18, probably.
Yeah, which is
18
which
on the
case
low
is,
end and 31 on the high end, probably. But I don't know. We'll see, I
yeah,
guess. But
because it's an interesting quote, because one of the things on this is that, yes, you would think if it's an expansion, it's going to be on the high end, but then the Feywild, it sounds like almost something that could tie in with the Lost Gatekeepers. But
see,
if
it could.
because if it ties in with the Lost Gatekeepers, then it would sound like it would be on the down to level 4 to 6. But then I don't know about an expansion in level
See,
4
I
to
don't.
6. Just doesn't sound right
Yeah.
unless they have.
And I couldn't see him doing like the same level range as what like Ravenloft was and Sharn was.
Right. And now,
So I don't
yeah.
know. It'll be interesting to see what they do actually with the level range. I know they haven't said anything about it yet. So
Yeah, it's hard to think because I'm trying to think, are they trying to fill in gatekeepers in all the levels eventually? Now, I know Miss of Ravenloft isn't technically gatekeepers and all that stuff, but it's on another plane. So even though that's for a different one, actually, now I think of it though, I think all the gatekeepers quests are on VIP adventures ones instead of.
they are, yes.
Right. So I have a feeling then that they might have their own little thing in there. So I'm going to guess that that's going to be that if they have a level 4 gatekeepers quest, it's probably going to be what they do after the. But it could be though that the assets they need in order to do that are going to be added for Feywild, because I think there's a tie into Feywild, so it could be. Just as you had the goblins that appeared in Sharn, then were able to be available for Keep on the Borderlands.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It could be that they're planning on doing something similar. That the reason why they chose Feywild is because Feywild was going to be tying into the storyline of the Gatekeepers, and they wanted to bring that in.
Could be. That's a good, yeah.
That's an interesting thought, and that way they could have things like unicorns and stuff like that popping up in the.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this. Yeah.
Yeah, so that could explain a few things. All right. I will run with that until the hypothesis is completely destroyed when they come out with the next adventure pack of the sort. And in Minecraft, I ran the 4th April week for Mage Rage in there, and I also participated in a little something called the Tiny House Challenge. What someone challenged us to do was create a fully functional base, meaning with a fully functional enchantment table, potion brewing area, sleeping area, some barrels or chests, some furnaces. So the types of necessities you need inside of a base, and fit it into a 3x5 interior.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah. Oh, good grief is right. Oh, yes, and it helps a great deal. And it helps a great deal if it's not an eyesore. No, it also should look nice.
Right.
So,
well, naturally. Yeah.
Yeah. So I ran into this when one of the Minecraft channels I subscribed to on YouTube was giving his entry for it. So I then went back to the original one and thought, all right, I'll build this. And it so happened that I was getting ready to build certain sections, certain areas for the for the my current single player world there. So even though many of the ones who are answering the challenge were doing it in creative, why you need being creative to do a 3x5 house, I have no idea, but that's another matter. But I decided I was not only going to do it in survival, but I was going to make it an integral part of the area that I was building. So I decided this was going to be the chief artisan's house for the temple compound I'm building, and that section will have a couple of the major people, of the senior people in the area, and that the architecture that I set for this was going to become the architecture style for the rest of the area, which means, of course, it had to look decent, because if it didn't, it would be really bad looking when I did the rest of them. So since then, I built the tiny house in there, and that's a nice little area there. And I also built the quartermaster's house, which includes a nice office for people to pick up things, and it's connecting to a storage facility. So I built the storage facility in there, which includes, how many? I think, 140 barrels in my storage area.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah, I have this huge storage. It's in the now. Of course, having something that's large enough for 140 barrels above ground was going to be. But I had these caves that were right in the middle of the acre, which I was for doing all these builds. Okay, it's off in a corner one, but it is within that area. And I said, let's leverage this, turn that into a storage area, and put the quartermaster's house so that it has the entrance into the storage area right into there. So I think that's going to work out pretty well with the build that I'm doing on there. And that's what I was doing in Minecraft. We currently have 13 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join this illustrious group, you could go to the donations page. You can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find various rewards. If you would like to do this, it will help us with our website hosting, for our podcast hosting, and to help pay for our live shows. And if you would like to just make a single donation, you could send an email to drac@ddoplayers.com. The Players Alliance did not receive any emails, or did you? I know you say Evil Beaker email. Is that a typo, or is that?
No, we did get an email, but it's a secret email though.
I almost missed it because it was such a secret.
You did. See, I'm going to tease the email. Mr. Beaker was listening to the show when we were. Remember when the Chronicle comment was, what would you like to 3D print from DDO, or however it was worded? And we were discussing that. And I had said, I know somebody that has a 3D printer, right?
Right.
And then I said, actually, I know two people. Well, one of them I was talking about was Beaker. And then the other was my other friend, who he apparently didn't listen to the show, or if he did, he didn't notice I was talking about him because he never said anything. But anyway, Beaker sent an email, and I'm getting a package delivered to me.
All right.
But this package is not just for me. I have a package that I am going to forward to you, Pineleaf, as well.
Ooh.
And that's all I'm going to tease about it at this moment. But it's pretty epic. That's all I'm going to say.
You already know what's in it.
I know what's in it, yes.
Aha.
Yes.
So I'm going to get a secret package at some point.
You will. You will get a secret package in the mail, and you will open it, and you will probably laugh, and then I don't know what else you're going to do, but we're going to find out.
Well, as long as I don't catch a virus from it.
No, you won't. It's not coming from China, so you're safe.
Well, right now, just because it's coming from the United States does not make it. In fact, if something came from New York City, that would really be...
Okay, you do have a point there, but no. This is coming from Wisconsin, so I think you're okay.
Okay,
well,
Wisconsin.
it's coming from Wisconsin via Indiana, I should say.
Via Indiana, yes.
Because it's going to come to me, and then I'm going to forward a part of it off to you.
Okay.
So look for the full reveal coming soon, and I can't wait to hear Pine Leaf's reaction to said thing. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
Beaker has outdone himself. I'm just going to say that.
Yes. And if you would like to out evil Beaker, you could send your email to podcast@ddo.players.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAlly, DDO Players @DDO Players, Draculetta @Dracula_72, and Pineleaf @PineleafNeedles. And you can follow Drac on Twitch @Draculetta_72. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Mondays at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News. On Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. USC time, we have Locha Players News. And it looks like that we actually may have a third that has come back, and that's XP. I thought that was gone forever.
Me too, but it's back. And I was a guest last weekend, so I know for sure it's back because I was on the show.
Ooh.
I missed XP Quest so much. I am so glad it's back.
Okay. But
the thing with
sounds like it's not Piney friendly, though.
No, it is definitely not Pineleaf friendly. Not Pineleaf friendly at all. Stay far, far away from XP Quest, Pineleaf. As far away as you can. Yeah, listener discretion is advised. There are
I'm
bad
unlikely
words.
to be asked to be a Quest one at any time soon.
Probably not, no. Because, yeah, there are bad words on that show. So there is no
Naughty words.
editing of the words. And the thing about XP Quest is there is no set date and time for it. So just follow XP Quest on Twitter, and you will find out when the show is going to go live. DJ Pimp Daddy will tweet out that, hey, we're going to have a show on Friday night or on Thursday night or whatever. They're just kind of doing whatever their schedules allow right now. So, but it's cool. XP Quest is back.
And if you'd like to join us for one of these shows, you can go to ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all that we have for tonight. And this is Pilot Mules reminding you to socialize responsibly.
This episode of DDO Players News was brought to you by the Easy Roller Dice Company. Check out EasyRollerDice.com for all of your dice needs. Metal dice, regular dice, specialty dice, any dice in between. You can find them at Easy Roller Dice. Don't forget about their full line of dice bags and roller dice trays as well. EasyRollerDice.com for all of your game-playing dice needs. Once again, thank you to Easy Roller Dice for sponsoring this episode of DDO Players News.